What is going on? I'm Zedmont. We are here on Season 27 of the Warships. But first, let's talk about Season 28. Every single season, when the season starts in the bottom right-hand corner, it flashes with Season 28's name. Tanks coming up next. That's going to line up with Thanksgiving, I do believe, for those of you in Canada. So I had to throw that awful dad joke out there. Wanted to show you that. I assume all of you have seen this before, but I figured I'd take a screenshot just in case some of you missed that when the season starts. Anyways, moving on into Warships after doing a little bit of sculptor maintenance there. I have already collected all of my chests. I am late, and when I say collected my chests, I mean these chests up here where you have to click 11 times to get them all. And I have gotten a bunch of chests. Gonna quickly show you my tech tree, and then I'm gonna show you my win-loss rate. So first, just bear with me for right now. So this tech tree, number one thing, as per usual, do not upgrade your gunboat right now. Complete and utter waste of tokens, because if you have a look there, we have no artillery, we have no barrage, we have no critters, we have no shocks. Later on, sure, upgrade that, but that is not what you want to be spending your tokens on in the early season. After that, you'll see that I do not have mines, I do not have Zookas, and I don't have flamethrowers. I know there's a bunch of people, I feel like 90% of people have those things. I am going the contrarian route, and I am not going to have any of those things. By the way, do you say route or route? Regardless, we're going to delete that screenshot right there. We're going to keep cruising over here so we can see where this season got its name from. Clearly, we have all 4 heroes. I wish they had a mega node where you could choose any of the 4 heroes. They didn't have that ability, so we only get 2 heroes off each node. Now, with this, if you've ever stood in line impatiently at a grocery store or at the border or at the airport or whatever the heck it is, you know that you're probably going to pick the wrong lane. 75% of people who pick a hero are going to be wrong. So my gut is telling me that Brick over here is going to be the best hero for early season. She's going to be able to throw battle orders. People will be rushing with heavies and rifles and all those heavy Zuka, but I feel like that is not the right choice for the long term. Bullit, for me, is the guy, especially if you don't have instant training. You can farm engine rooms using just Bullit, and you don't have to waste any troops. And let me tell you, this season, there's going to be a lot of wasted troops. If you look over here, we've got snipers, machine guns, flamethrowers, mortars, green mines, boom mines, flamethrowers. I think I already said flamethrowers. So using Bullit is going to give you the opportunity to get engine rooms without spending any troops. Just use Bullit, energy drink, go get a couple engine rooms. Easy way to farm some engine rooms. Now, the next thing I want to talk about quickly before I get into the battles is I've heard a couple people say, well, I'm going to go Bullit, and then I'll go forwards, and I'll come back and get Brick, or other way, or vice versa. Regardless, that is 82 keys. Unless you are HQ 17 or something like that, and you're engine room locked, and you don't want to get the Admiral's key, pick one hero and go with it. And so if that means maybe, just maybe, you want to wait, go out here, get shocks, see how things are going, and then come back and get a hero once there's a better picture, I feel like that is a better solution than picking the wrong hero. Now, after saying that, I'm going to go unlock Bullit right now. Unlocking Bullit is going to make my attacks better, and that is why I have been holding out. You'll see that I do not have a lot of tech here, and this season there's a lot of defenses there, and there's a lot of damage that can be done. I upgraded my defensive building damage here. I should have not spent those keys, most definitely, because I see my mortars, sniper towers, and machine guns are not maxed. Now, speaking of my win-loss rate, look at this. This is a complete and utter mess. I only beat Dadzilla, who I'm sure would appreciate that Thanksgiving joke. And if we look at our task force here, hopefully, I feel like the entire internet just logged off of my video. Why would we listen to you, Zed? 10% win rate. Awful, awful, awful. But my trust is in my tech tree. Ignore the wins and losses and just trust in your tech tree, especially in those first few days of the season. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bring out some heavies and some Bullit. I'm going to switch Bullit to the energy drink, and hopefully we can crush these people. Now, you probably don't need troop health if you have Bullit, but I figured, you know what, we're going to do it anyway. So now I'm going to go something like this. We're going to drop our 3 boats of heavies. We're going to get them going back to that back engine room. trying to keep them moving. We're going to lose some of them along the way, perhaps. Now, you'll see that I only have level 3 flares. Definitely need to pay attention to those flares, but at the same time, we don't have anything else to spend our GBE on. So the fact that we're going to get all of those heavies back on that engine room right about now, hoping to burn that engine room quickly before we have to reflare anything. Come on, dudes. This is not going the way that I would have liked. Now we're going to come over here, going to get Bullit rocking out in front. He's going to help clear some mines. That energy drink, possibly a little bit too early, but Bullit is going to be able to get out front, clear all sorts of mines for you, and then we can come back over to that next engine room on that right-hand side. So I'm going to send Bullit over here, and earlier on I said, hey, we've got nothing to use our GBE on. That is true until you get Bullit, and all of a sudden that GBE is starting to look attractive because I finally have something to spend the gunboat energy on. So my first battle with Bullit will hopefully be a win. I think the fastest time I've seen against my base was 2:53 or so, and you're going to see a ton of people with heavies and Zookas. You're going to see a ton of people with flamethrowers and mines, and pulling out the first win of the video just like that, starting to trend in the right direction. Let's quickly show you some of the replays against me. So they got 240. Let's show you the fastest time. I think it was like a 2:53, somewhere in this neighborhood down here. John with the best time. You'll see that my left-hand side engine room not well protected, and they're coming in with 3 boats of heavies, much like I did, and then all of their troops get drawn into that engine room. So that base that I just faced, definitely I should have done a little bit better with my troops. Maybe should have mixed in some form of rifles with them, but overall, we're doing A-okay. And also, on top of that, if we want to go heavy rush, Bullit does give us that option because his taunt will become incredibly, incredibly useful. And that gunboat is cheap to upgrade once you get Bullit. So right about now, we can just drop our troops, to be completely honest. I'm going to go something like this. We're going to drop Bullit over to the left here, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to drop 5 boats over in here. Splitting your boats without using any flares is incredibly boring to me. I hate the fact that we can't clear mines, we don't have shocks or smoke, but this strategy right here will work, my friends. It is not super sexy. It feels like it is not really Boom Beach to me. Boom Beach to me is all about controlling my troops, protecting my troops, but it works. And so heavies have a little bit more damage than you think they would, and so they are going to be able to burn through all this stuff. And you'll notice that we're getting onto 2 engine rooms at about the 310 level, 315 level, something along those lines. So we'll be able to get a couple engine rooms down very, very quickly. Come on, dudes, get grinding. And every time I picture in my head with watching heavies try and grind away at an engine room, it reminds me of like trying to cut down a tree with a chainsaw that doesn't have a chain. Why I feel that way? Maybe because I played too much Doom as a kid, but you get the basic idea of what I'm talking about. Next up, gonna use the rest of our gunboat energy trying to get Bullit somewhere close. This battle feels like it took an absolute eternity, and it was only 2 seconds slower. So do consider dropping your troops in a split fashion like that. There's a lot of ways that I could make that attack strategy better, but for my first split with Bullit, I feel like we did fairly okay. And fewer boats to the left than the right, quite obviously. Let's show you what some form of squiggly Cyrillic name did against my base, just so that you get the basic understanding of what the heck there. See, again, heavies and Zookas. So this person has spent more tokens than us. We are going to be ahead of them on the tech tree, and maybe that's why we have Bullit and they don't. So Zookas, I feel like, are a false way to go. Definitely going to be helpful for you in the early season, but later on, I can't see Zookas being terribly useful. And if you are going to go with Zookas, perhaps Kavan's going to be your hero. Last season, Everspark came out of nowhere and was the VIP of the early and late season, but I feel like that is not necessarily the case. And this is the exact base we were talking about here just a second ago. We're going to send all of those guys up on that left-hand side, waiting. Might have to use a second flare just because my flares are so darn low level. Probably should have waited a little bit for my troops to be closer to their flags before dropping that flare. But here we go, getting our troops out. Not ideal. I'm a little bit unfortunate that I had to wait for that next flare, but here we go. Bullit coming out front, and we're just going to clear all of the things, hoping that those left-hand side heavies are going to get in and on that engine room. And big shout out to John. If you happen to be a subscriber, please do let me know, because that strategy I just showed was one that you used against my base, and it worked very, very well. So big shout out to John. Very, very generic name, obviously, but crushing my base. And see right here, this is where I should have waited for that machine gun to go down, because right now, not having enough gunboat energy to get Bullit with an energy drink is going to cost me a couple heavies, simply because they're going to get wrecked by some of those mines that Bullit did not clear, and as a result, picking up the first loss of the video. So I'm going to go away with a loss under my belt, which is all sorts of CLMBN07 kicking my butt, 2 minutes 52 seconds. That is a great time. I'm going to show you that battle right here quickly, because they did very well. Again, heavy, Zuka, and rifle. That's a little bit surprising. They're just full on clearing all of my things. Bringing in one boat of rifles late. Quick note, I see people bringing in one boat of Zukas late. I feel like one boat of rifles is the better option, simply because they run faster. That may be incorrect, but it just feels like I see way too many people drop one boat of Zukas, whereas rifles would get to that engine room quicker, and they have similar-ish damage. So at this point, finally can upgrade Bullit a little bit, or I can just hold out. Gonna hold out at the moment. A troop health, I went and got it, but I feel like you don't necessarily need it if you're gonna get Bullit. At this point, I'm gonna upgrade my gunboat a little bit, simply because it's so cheap, and as you saw there on that one battle, I was a little bit low for gunboat energy. That should hopefully give me one more energy drink, and you know what, let's do one more battle, just so I can see how that gunboat energy change works out. So, same sort of thing. We're gonna go 3 boats to the left, 1, 2, 3. As soon as they get anywhere close to that flag, I'm going to drop that flare. That should get them moving in the right general direction, and now we can drop all the rest of these troops. That right-hand side, left-hand side, I'm not sure why my right and left is so terrible when it comes to warships, but for whatever reason, I just tend to screw up every single season, every single video for that matter. Troops coming in, Bullit coming in hot here, getting him out front so that all of those machine guns and sniper towers and things queue up on him, and now crushing through all of these mines. Gonna hopefully clear most of the mines on that right-hand side with those heavies, so that when we're ready to flare that final engine room, we can just cruise through all of the things. Like I said, there's so much waiting in this early season because we just can't send our troops where we want to send them. But there is a whole bunch of skill involved when it comes to making sure that you drop your troops at the right time. Look at all of that energy drink we've got rocking and rolling. Bullit's going to come in here super hot and heavy, taking that engine room, and our time's going to be faster than I have done in the last little bit. 2 minutes 49 seems to be, I can't crack that 250. Kurtifu, I think, has crushed my hopes and dreams of ending on a win. Yes, they did. 253. I haven't seen brick. I thought for sure we would see a ton more brick in the early season. People coming in with battle orders. My base clearly needs a little bit of TLC. They are just fully and completely clearing my base. So I'm going to spend some time, make my base a little bit better, and that will be the next video. So do consider subscribing, because I will be throwing out a better base in the next little bit. I'm assuming, you know what, let's just jump up top. Orion has jumped in front of Keone. He's clearly playing at the moment. Keone was leading for a long time, and so I'm straight up going to copy this base. When it comes to bases, Orion is a brilliant, brilliant dude, spends a lot of time watching replays, so if you're looking for a simple 3-engine room base, do go copy this one. Don't even need to subscribe. Just go jump on that base. It will help you. I am going to start cruising on upwards now. My base not doing super duper well, but once I got Bullit, I feel like we're going to start moving on upwards. So hopefully this helped you. If you have any questions about the tech tree, about planning, about choices, don't hesitate to hit me up in the comments. I will respond to you. I respond to every single comment, or at least make a great effort to do so. If this video has helped you, entertained you, somethinged you, underneath that thing right there, we're putting in creator code ZMOT with a Z, not an S. I've seen way too many people put in SNOT or SMOT. It is ZMOT. It works in every Supercell game, whether it be Clash of Clans, Brawl Stars, Heyday, Clash Royale, or the various other games that can be seen in the Supercell ID loading screen. Anyways, that is all for me. As always, thank you for coming in. Just wanted to give a quick shout out to Crusader, who had the highest score on the Mega Crab in this Triangle 9 task force. I got to level 43 and then just got bored and stopped playing. So really wish I could just start at stage 50 where it starts to get fun or so, but for me it was all about farming the powder late at night at the end of my busy weekend days. So that is all for me. As always, thank you for coming in, liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, all of those YouTubey things. I shall talk to you soon. Thanks for coming in. I'm ZMOT. Peace.